My beloved child, be still and listen. In this very moment, I am opening before you a doorway into a reality you have never stepped into. The words you are about to hear are not ordinary speech. They are streams of living water flowing from the eternal source itself. You must not treat them lightly or rush past them, for every word I speak carries within it the creative command that can shape your destiny. I do not speak to stir your emotions. I speak to awaken the part of your soul that has long slept beneath the dust of routine and indifference. For right now, in this sacred pause where time seems to stop, I am redrawing the orbit of your life. All that is old, all fear, every label the world has placed upon you will dissolve as my light shines forth. You are standing at the threshold of an irreversible transformation, and the heavens are moving in alignment to prepare for it. In the unseen realm, my angelic hosts are assembling at my command. They do not come as spectators, but as participants in the unfolding of my will. They are reshaping the atmosphere around you, sweeping away the layers of doubt and fear that have long clouded your spirit. I, the Eternal One, have seen you in the darkest hours of loneliness and despair. I have heard the sighs you dared not voice. Every tear that fell has been gathered, not one was lost. They have become seeds in the eternal field, and now the harvest of those tears is coming. You have endured nights so long you thought the dawn would never break. But I have prepared for you another kind of morning, not the sunrise of this world, but the light of revelation. Lift up your head, my child, not to look at life as it was, but to see me. From this day forward, I am bringing you into an entirely new season, a time of spiritual rebirth. This is not a minor adjustment, but a deep shift within your very being. I am shattering the chains that have bound your soul, the voices that condemned you, the memories that weighed you down, the fears that hid in the corners of your mind. They will hold no power over you again. For I, the Creator, am laying my hand upon your life, and every word I have spoken will accomplish what I send it to do. As it is written, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Matthew 2:4-5. Today that word is being fulfilled in you. Do you know, my child? Long ago I saw you in the crowd when no one else did. When the world forgot you, I whispered your name in the dark. When others dismissed you, I saw within you the seed of a great calling. I have never seen you as others see you. They saw weakness. I saw potential. They saw failure. I saw preparation. They saw wounds. I saw gateways to healing. Nothing in your journey has been wasted. Every step, even the painful ones, has led you to this moment. Even your sorrows were part of my divine blueprint, for I have never wasted a single tear of yours. Now you stand at the appointed time that I set before your birth. A profound transformation is taking shape, not from the outside, but from within. You will no longer define yourself by your scars. I am stripping away every false identity, those placed by others and those you placed upon yourself. You are not the product of failure. You are the testimony of grace. You are not the sum of mistakes. You are the proof of mercy. I will give you a new name, one that only you and I will know, engraved in eternity. And when you hear it, your soul will awaken as ashes ignite into flame. You will realize you were never forgotten, never forsaken. My love for you has been constant, like a river that never runs dry even when you turn away. Prepare your heart, my beloved. I am changing the way you see yourself. I will teach you to see through the eyes of heaven, not through the lens of fear. When I look at you, I do not see your sin. I see the potential of redemption. When I hear you, I do not hear weakness. I hear the echo of faith rising. I do not wait for you to be perfect before I act. I act because you are not perfect. That is what makes my grace radiant. Remember, grace is not for those who think they do not need it. It is for those who know they cannot save themselves. You have often felt small and powerless, but I declare to you, within you lies the strength of a kingdom. When I breathed life into you, I placed within that breath the spark of my own light. The world may have tried to smother it, but it cannot destroy it. It only needs to be rekindled by the fire of awareness. Today, I have come to fan that flame. Like the burning bush in the wilderness that blazed but was not consumed, your soul shall burn not to destroy but to illuminate. That light will guide you across mountains of fear, through valleys of doubt and storms of pain, leading you to a place only I know. I know you have asked, why must I go through so much? My child, it is not punishment, it is preparation. Just as gold must pass through fire to be refined, so must you be purified through trial. Each time you rise after a fall, endurance is forged deeper within you. Each moment you choose faith over fear, your spirit grows stronger. And now, as the season of testing nears its end, I have come to declare the season of revival begins. Not an outward revival, but a resurrection of the spirit within. You will walk differently. You will speak differently. You will see life through new eyes. For within you a new power is awakening, the power not born of will, but of my spirit. Do not seek me in rituals or in walls. Seek me in your very breath, for I am not distant. I am in every heartbeat, every breeze, every ray of light piercing through the darkness. Even when you cannot feel me, I am present. When you think you have lost me, you are only walking through the land I use to stretch your faith. Faith is not born in ease, but in places that seem empty. It is in that very emptiness that I plant the seeds of hope. It is in silence that I speak words only the soul can hear. And it is in the night that I cause the dawn of something new to break forth. Therefore, release the burdens you have carried for so long. Let me bear them. I did not call you to carry the weight alone. I called you to walk with me. You were not created to live in fear, but to walk in the power of love. You were not born for bondage, but for freedom. Freedom in me is not an escape, it is peace in the midst of every storm. That freedom does not depend on circumstance, but on the one who dwells within you. When you understand this, the doors that have long been shut will begin to open, not because you knocked harder, but because I am opening them from the inside. Remember, I did not come to add another religion to your life. I came to bring life itself. Not a temporary life, but an abundant one. You will no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as one who carries within the power to create. I have placed within you the authority to speak and to build. When you speak my word, the universe responds. When you believe, heaven moves. Not because you are strong, but because I am faithful. Therefore, open your mouth and declare what I have spoken. Rise and walk, for your appointed time is not someday, it is now. I am calling you out of the land of fear and doubt. Step into a new territory where you are no longer ruled by emotions, but led by my spirit. From this moment, nothing will remain the same. Old limitations will crumble. Walls that have long separated you from blessing will fall. A new breath, pure and holy, is being breathed into your life. I am rebuilding the foundations the enemy tried to destroy. I am rekindling what once went dark, and I am declaring before all of heaven, this is my beloved child, the one I have chosen, the one through whom I will reveal my glory. I am your God. Silence is not emptiness, it is where I dwell. When you are still, I speak. When you stop striving, I move. When you let go, I lift you up. And when you believe, miracles are born. Even now the gates of heaven are opening, and grace is pouring over your life like the first rain of spring. This is not a random beginning. It is the fulfillment of a promise. Receive it, believe it, walk in it. For I am walking with you, child of light. Now I will speak to you about the first thing I am renewing within you, your identity. Before I can place the crown upon your head, I must remove every chain that has bound your soul. For too long you have let the past define you. The words of others have carved themselves into your mind like invisible blades. You have believed that you are the product of mistakes, rejection, and pain. But my child, that is no longer true. I have never looked at you through the lens of sin, but through the blood of the Lamb that was shed for you. You are no longer bound by the names the world once gave you. You are not abandoned, unworthy, or a failure. You are chosen. You are an heir of the covenant. You are the bearer of my glory in a darkened world. Understand this: your true identity does not come from the past, but from heaven. When I breathed into the dust and you became a living soul, I did not merely create existence, I imparted a part of myself. That divine spark within you has been covered by the dust of life. But now I am breathing into it once again. Just as Ezekiel saw a valley full of dry bones, I am saying to you, O dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Ezekiel 3:7-4, and I declare that my breath is entering you, reviving in you the spirit that despair once tried to suffocate. You are no longer the ashes of your past. You are the proof of resurrection. You have lived too long in the shadow of comparison, trying to become what others expected. But I did not design you to mirror anyone else. I made you one of a kind with fingerprints that exist nowhere else in the universe. You are a unique stroke in the symphony of my creation. I do not want you to be a copy. I want you to be an original, a full expression of what I have placed within you. Stop seeing life through the distorted mirror of others. Look through the light of my spirit, and you will see yourself surrounded by glory that does not fade. I have placed within you a calling that transcends work, fame, or position. It is a spiritual calling, a voice that only your soul can hear in the quiet of prayer. Listen, beloved, for as you return to stillness, you will find not the absence of me, but the fullness of who I am already dwelling within you. My child, there were things that once bound you: guilt, regret, shame, things that clouded your eyes and kept you from seeing your true worth. But now I am lifting that veil. As Paul once wrote, whenever anyone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. 2 Corinthians 3:1-6. You are now beginning to see yourself in a new light, not as the face of failure, but as the image of victory. No longer a trembling voice in the dark, but a voice of authority echoing through the ages. I am teaching you to speak the language of heaven, not the language of lament, but of creation. Every word you release in faith will no longer fall to the ground, void, for my spirit is within you. The enemy has long used old memories to chain you inside the prison of your mind. He whispers, you are not worthy. You are not holy enough. You cannot change. But I, the Creator, declare every one of those lies has lost its power. My truth is stronger than his accusations. The blood of the Lamb speaks louder than any charge brought against you. And today I proclaim over you, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Romans 8:1. Let that word be engraved in your very bones, for it is the divine decree that frees your soul. You owe your past nothing anymore. You belong to the present of grace and the future of glory. My child, as you shed your old shell, I will teach you to walk as one who bears the image of heaven. You will no longer bow your head in shame, but lift it in holy humility. You will speak not with reasoning alone, but with the authority of the Spirit. The places you once feared to tread you will stand firm upon. Those who once doubted you will see me through you. I did not create you to hide, I created you to shine. True light does not flee from darkness. It enters and transforms it. So do not run from the place of testing. That is the battlefield where your light shines brightest. You will come to see that every scar, whether upon your body or your soul, is no longer a mark of shame, but a testament of grace. Every wound has become a window for my light to pour through. The very pain that once broke you will now make you compassionate toward the pain of others. The place where you once fell will become the place where you lift others up. That is why I do not erase your past, I redeem it. For I am not only the healer, I am the one who turns ashes into jewels. I want you to know your new identity is not a role to play, but the restoration of your true self. You do not need to strive to become someone else. You only need to return to the image I inscribed in your soul from the beginning. Remember, I created you in my image and likeness. Genesis 1:2-7. This means that within you is the reflection of my love, my creativity, my mercy, and my authority. When you walk in that awareness, fear will lose its hold. Fear can only live in the shadows of forgetfulness, but you have been brought out into the light of truth. When you stand in that light, you will see something wondrous. Truth does not weigh you down, it sets you free. True freedom does not come from escaping weakness, but from surrendering to me in the midst of it. When you learn to see yourself through my eyes, you will stop measuring your worth by human standards. You will stop asking, "Am I enough?" and begin to say, "You are enough for me." And in that moment, peace will flow like a gentle stream into your soul. My beloved, I say to you, the day you accept yourself in my light is the day you begin to walk in power. For identity and power always walk hand in hand. No one can operate in divine authority without knowing who they are in the one who gives it. When you know that you are a child of the King, you will no longer beg like a pauper. You will pray not with arrogance, but with humble confidence, as an heir speaking to their father. And when you speak, heaven will answer, for I recognize your voice among 1,000 others. I know you have trembled at the word chosen. You thought it was for others, for those stronger, more gifted, more righteous. But my child, I do not choose according to the standards of the world. I choose by the heart. I chose David among his brothers, not for his stature, but for his heart. I chose Moses, though he stammered, Mary, though she was unknown, Paul, though he once opposed me. And likewise I have chosen you, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. And that willingness is the key that unlocks everything I have prepared. This transformation is not merely a change in understanding, it is the rebirth of your soul. As you receive your new name, your mind will also be renewed. The old patterns of thought will fall away. The voices of insecurity will grow silent. You will hear my voice more clearly, not through the static of doubt, but through the melody of faith. I will teach you to think with belief, act with obedience, and love with compassion. And when you live in that truth, the enemy will have nowhere to stand. He cannot touch one who knows they are a child of the light. Therefore, rise up not to prove yourself, but to receive what is already yours. Step out of the cloak of fear, shame, and comparison. Let me clothe you with a new garment, the robe of righteousness, of dignity, of grace. Every thread of that robe is woven from unconditional love. Wear it, for it is the symbol of your restored identity. When you put it on, darkness will recognize that you no longer belong to it, and the world will know that you are anointed. From this moment on, you will walk no longer with your head bowed low. You will speak not from fear, but with the certainty of one who knows they are sent. You will no longer live to be accepted, but to fulfill your purpose. True identity does not seek approval, it reveals light. And light does not need to explain itself, it only needs to shine. So shine, my child, for darkness has covered the earth too long. Let them see me through your eyes, hear me through your voice, and feel me through your love. Then you will understand your true identity is not found in what you do, but in the one to whom you belong. My beloved child, now open your heart to hear about the second transformation I am bringing forth, the transformation of provision. For I am not the God of lack, I am the God of abundance, the one who gives far beyond what you can ask or imagine. While the world counts coins, I count seeds of faith, and faith itself is the currency of my kingdom. You have lived too long in the land of just enough. You have grown accustomed to surviving, waiting, shrinking your hope as though it were a luxury. But now I come to tell you it is time to step out of the spirit of poverty, not only in material things, but in your mindset, in the way you see yourself, and in how you believe in what I can do. For so long, my child, you have believed that my provision depends on your effort, that blessings come only after you have done enough. But I tell you now, blessing is not a reward, it is an inheritance. You do not have to earn it, you simply receive it. Like the father in the parable of the prodigal son, I do not wait for you to kneel long enough before opening the storehouse. I run toward you with a robe, a ring, and a feast. For my joy is not in your perfection, but in your return. You thought I only bless the worthy, but in truth I bless the surrendered. For it is surrender, not striving, that opens the gates of heaven faster than 1,000 eloquent prayers. In the days ahead you will witness doors opening that you never knocked upon. People you have never met will come to your aid. Resources will flow to you from places you never expected. For I have stirred the hearts of others to act according to my will, though they do not even know why. I am causing those with influence to see you, not to exalt you, but to become channels of blessing. Ordinary relationships will turn into divine connections, bridges for miracles of provision. You will marvel when you realize that what I am doing is not born of numbers but of grace. And that grace does not trickle, it rushes like a mighty waterfall. True provision is not merely material. It is the abundance of the soul, peace amid storms, joy that is not tied to outcomes, and the quiet assurance of being loved even when the world turns away. You may possess all things and still feel empty, or have nothing and yet feel full. The difference lies in who stands at the center of your being. When I am there, even the desert blooms. When I am present, a simple meal becomes a feast. Therefore, I do not desire merely to fill your wallet, I desire to fill your heart, not just to open the doors of your house, but the windows of heaven. You have prayed for provision, and I have heard, but now I am doing more than meeting needs, I am awakening potential. You will not only receive what you require, but overflow so that you may give. For I do not want you to live as a beggar, but as a giver. I have called you to be a river, not a pond. The water of a pond eventually dries up, but a river is flowing. When you learn to give, you will see that the source never stops. Each time you open your hand, I will fill it again. Each time you release, I will multiply. This is the arithmetic of my kingdom. The more you share, the richer you become. Do not let the fear of loss keep you from living generously. The world teaches you to hold tight so that you will not lack, but I teach you that release is the doorway to increase. Like the widow of Zarephath who gave Elijah her last bit of bread and found her jar of oil never empty. 1 Kings 1:7-1:4-16. So I will do for you. You think you are giving away your little, but you are unlocking hidden treasure. I do not need your offering, I desire your trust within it. When you dare to give the small, I will make it a miracle that sustains an entire season. Prepare yourself for a season of unexpected harvest. It will not come as the result of formulas or striving, but through surrender and faith. Every seed you have planted in tears, in sacrifice, in silent prayer, is now germinating in fields your eyes have not yet seen. You thought they were buried, but they were being nurtured. And in the appointed time I will cause the fruit to spring forth 100-fold. For I am not the God of delay, but the God of perfect timing. Do not fear when I begin to move you away from old places. Sometimes, to lead you to new sources, I must close old wells. You may feel confused or uncertain, but do not be afraid. Every closed door is protection, not punishment. As Abraham left Ur to step into the promised land, so must you leave your comfort zone to enter the territory I have prepared. There are no promised lands within the borders of safety. Yet where I lead you, milk and honey flow. Dreams you thought were dead will rise again. Promises you thought forgotten will come to pass. You once believed I could provide through only one channel, but I am the God of countless ways. When one door shuts, I open 1,000 more. When people turn you away, my angels will bring what you need. I am not bound by systems, economies, or circumstances. Where you see scarcity, I see harvest. Where you see desert, I see rivers beneath the sand. As I once fed Israel in the wilderness with manna from heaven, so will I feed you in ways that defy understanding. My hand has never run dry, and my gaze has never forgotten you. Remember this, my child, true blessing always walks hand in hand with holy stewardship. When I give, it is not for you to waste, but to distribute with wisdom. I want you to master wealth, not be mastered by it. Recall the words of my son, whoever is faithful with little will also be faithful with much. Luke 1:6-10. If you guard well the small things I entrust to you, I will give you greater things. For I am not seeking those who have much, but those who use what they have rightly. And when I see that your heart is unbound by possessions, I will entrust you with the resources of heaven. My child, I am teaching you the principle of divine circulation. Where water flows, the land is refreshed. Where light shines, darkness fades. Blessing works the same way. When you allow it to flow through you, you become a vessel of heavenly grace. I want your life to be living proof that I do not merely bless those who believe in me, I bless the world through them. You will become comfort to the lonely, strength to the weary, and a helping hand to those who have lost hope. Every act of generosity, every word of encouragement, every silent prayer you offer becomes the echo of my presence in this world. When you give, you multiply my image upon the earth. I will give you ideas beyond imagination, creative solutions no book could ever teach. I will open your mind to see opportunities where others see dead ends. You will become a restorer, a rebuilder of broken lives. Through your hands, small things will become great, for I will breathe my life into your work. And when you look back, you will not say, I have done this, but rather, the Lord has done marvelous things. Remember, blessing is not meant to distance you from me, but to draw you nearer. Never let abundance replace intimacy. Never let success overshadow gratitude. Always give thanks, for thanksgiving is the fence that guards your blessing. When you can give thanks in every season, your blessing will never be withdrawn. You do not need to fear loss, for I am your source, not one of many sources, but the source itself. When the wind shifts, I remain your rock. When the storm rages, I remain your captain. I have placed upon your life the seal of divine prosperity, not wealth for pride, but abundance for purpose. Not to exalt yourself, but to lift others. You will no longer live with a mindset of scarcity, but in the confidence of grace, sufficiency. I bless you not so that you may store, but so that you may show that I still provide. And when the world asks, how can you live in peace amid chaos? You will smile and say, because my source is not of this earth, but of heaven. My child, now I speak to you of the third transformation, the cleansing of your connections. I am not only renewing your life, I am purifying your surroundings. You have prayed for open doors, but sometimes to open one, I must first close another. You have asked me for the right companions, but to bring them, I must first remove the wrong ones. This, beloved, is not punishment, it is grace in motion. There are souls who were permitted to walk with you for a season, but not destined to journey with you into the next. They were rafts to help you cross a river, not ships to take you across the sea. If you cling to them, both the raft and your purpose will sink into shallow waters. But if you let me steer, I will take you into deeper currents, where the flow of my spirit is strong and where you no longer swim by effort but are carried by divine purpose. I know separation wounds the heart. You have loved deeply, trusted, sincerely given, wholly. When a hand you once held lets go, the ache runs deeper than you expected. But remember this, I never take away anything without intending to replace it with something better. As a wise gardener prunes branches so the tree may bear fruit, I prune your life so that you may flourish. Do not fear the sound of my shears, for every cut is a doorway for new life to emerge. You have prayed for unity, but true unity can only come after false alignments are removed. Some stand near you but are not aligned with your spirit. They do not fight you with actions, but with energy, with quiet words that drain faith instead of building it. They are not evil, they are simply not sent. And in mercy I will fade their presence from your path. Do not resist, do not cling. Let me decide who stays and who leaves. When you trust me in this, you will discover a peace that surpasses all understanding. You have cried out, Lord, why did the one I trusted betray me? And I answer, not everyone who breaks bread with you belongs to you. Even Christ had his Judas, yet that betrayal became the doorway to redemption. Do not let your wounds make you bitter, let them make you wise. Do not close your heart because of a few who were wrong, lest you shut out those I am sending. You cannot build walls and still expect light to enter. Be open but discerning. Love freely but remain watchful. Trust again but place your ultimate confidence in me alone. There are relationships I will allow to break simply to protect you. There are promises others will forget because if they fulfilled them, they would lead you off the path I designed. You see loss. I see rescue. You feel lonely. I see preparation. For sacred solitude is often where I meet you most deeply. When human voices go silent, mine grows louder. When human hands withdraw, mine reaches out. You think you have been abandoned, but truly, you have been set apart to hear what only the still and the separated can hear. I will teach you to discern between divine connections and carnal attachments. A connection from me brings peace, clarity, and strength. It need not be perfect, but it will make your soul bloom. Attachments born from fear or need will exhaust and confuse you. I did not create you to beg for attention or cling to blind affection. I made you to love freely, not out of need, but as a reflection of my love. So do not mourn what I remove. What I prune, I perfect. What I separate, I sanctify. What I withhold, I redeem. And when the time is right, you will see every goodbye I ordained was an invitation to something greater, purer, and more eternal. My child, in the weeks ahead, you will feel as though a strange wind is passing through the landscape of your relationships. Some people will drift away quietly, some will reveal who they truly are, and some I myself will bring into your life. Do not interpret these shifts through emotion but through discernment, spiritual understanding. I am redrawing the map of your connections. I am positioning you beside those who carry the same heavenly frequency. No longer those who speak eloquently but those who intercede faithfully. No longer flatterers but truth-tellers who speak with love. No longer those who come to use you but those who come to carry the weight with you. When I connect you with the right people, you will feel a peace that runs deep as a river. You will no longer feel the need to prove yourself, for they will see you through the light I have placed within you. They will not compete, they will complete. They will not pull you down, they will lift you higher. These connections are not meant to make you dependent, but to activate the divine potential within you. They do not come to replace me, but to reflect me. And when you meet them, you will know not by reason, but by confirmation in your spirit. Many have asked me, why do I keep meeting people who hurt me? And I say to you, it is because you have not yet learned the lesson of your own worth. You continue to attract souls who mirror what you secretly believe about yourself. If you believe you are unlovable, you will meet those who do not know how to love. If you believe love must be earned, you will meet those who make you prove yourself. But when you finally believe that you are loved unconditionally, you will begin to meet those who love you as I do. Healing in relationships does not begin with them, it begins with you. Let me teach you how to love without losing yourself, how to forgive without returning to the same pain, how to give without being exploited. Let me teach you how to keep your heart tender, yet guarded with wisdom. Forgiveness does not mean welcoming someone back to wound you again. True love is not blind, it sees clearly and still chooses mercy. When you learn this, you will no longer fear, Being hurt for you will understand that wounds do not define you, they refine your wisdom. I do not desire your loneliness, but I may separate you for a season to prepare your heart. For when I bring the true relationship, you will not arrive with a shattered heart, but with a restored one. That person will not be your hiding place, but your companion toward me. True love will not pull you away from me. It will draw you closer. It will not possess, it will partner. It will not dim your faith, it will brighten your hope. And when it comes, you will know, because my peace will clothe you like a mantle. So do not fear solitude in this season. Do not mourn when I cause some people to leave. You are not losing them, you are being set free. I am not closing your heart. I am enlarging it for a purer, deeper, holier love. Do not weep for what I remove. Rejoice for what I am preparing. For when the new season dawns, you will see I never take without giving twice as much in return. My child, stand firm in faith. This cleansing is not to isolate you, it is to place you where you truly belong. I am moving you out of small circles to bring you into a spiritual family, those of one heart, one purpose, one spirit. And when they come, you will not need to explain yourself. Their souls will recognize yours as fire recognizes fire. You will know, this is the one I prayed for, and I will smile, for that will be the moment when my promise is fulfilled. My beloved, when I purify the circle around you, it is not to leave you empty, but to prepare you for holy unity. For I did not design you to walk in isolation. From the dawn of creation I declared, it is not good for man to be alone. Genesis 2:1-8. That word was not limited to marriage, it was the blueprint for all divine connection. I created you for partnership, for communion, for harmony among souls that share the rhythm of heaven. And now I am weaving anew the network of relationships around you, thread by thread, with the invisible strings of eternal intent. Every bond I preserve will carry purpose. Every bond I form will carry peace. And every person I send will reflect a facet of my heart, so that through one another you may glimpse the fullness of my love. My child, you once believed that you had to search for the right person, to strive and labor to build relationships. But in my kingdom, divine encounters are not born of striving, they are born of destiny. When the appointed time comes, paths that once seemed distant will converge like two small rivers flowing into one great sea. Not by luck, but by design. Not by coincidence, but by angelic orchestration. And when you meet the one I have appointed, you will know, not through reasoning or analysis, but through the peace within you, rising like sunlight breaking through the clouds. In this season, I am rebuilding covenant connections. I am positioning you beside those whose spirits move in the same current of the Holy Spirit. They will not speak merely to be heard, but to resonate with you. They will not compete, but uplift. They will not drain your energy, but enrich your soul. When you speak, they will understand. When you are silent, they will still perceive. For among the anointed there is no need for many words, only one spirit shared between hearts. I am forming spiritual alliances, relationships, woven not by emotion, but by mission. You will meet those who draw you nearer to me, not away from me. Those who see the light of my presence in you and urge you to walk fully in it. They will pray with you, weep with you, and wage war with you for the things that belong to heaven. They do not come to make you shine, but to make my glory known through your unity. And through that unity I will reveal a power that one person alone could never contain. In this world, many speak of friendship, love, and connection. Yet most of these are born out of emptiness. People often come to take, not to give. But true love, the love that I ordain, does not seek to fill a void, it seeks to fulfill a purpose. It does not ask, what can I gain, but how can we reveal God together? When you meet those who belong to this new season, you will know they will not try to occupy your heart, they will help you see me more clearly. I did not design love to burn like a wildfire that rises and dies. I designed it to endure like a candle burning in the temple, steady, gentle, and unextinguishable. That love is built upon respect, trust, and perseverance in prayer. It does not need to boast, for its roots are anchored in holiness. It does not need to justify itself, for my light will bear witness. And when such love comes, you will recognize it. It will not disturb your peace, it will deepen it. You have loved wrongly, trusted wrongly, and been wounded deeply. But I will not let those wounds go to waste. They are the fertile soil softened by tears, where I will plant the seeds of redeemed love. When I bring the right person, they will not fear your scars. They will honor them, seeing in them the story of my faithfulness. And when they say, I understand you, it will not be mere empathy. It will be a recognition born of my spirit. For true love does not only connect minds, it intertwines souls. Covenant love does not come to possess, it comes to serve. It does not arrive to inflate pride, but to reveal the glory of the Creator. It does not promise an easy life, but it promises a journey where I am in the midst. You will no longer have to beg to be loved for. This love will arrive clothed in peace. It will not demand that you compromise your values or your faith. It will draw you closer to me. It will not unsettle you, but will become the harbor where your soul finds rest. When I give you a spiritual connection, you will notice the difference. You will no longer feel the need to strive to keep it alive. It will flow naturally like two hearts beating to the same rhythm. I myself will stand in the middle of that bond, like the bridge of grace that keeps it strong. I will be the center. Neither of you will be the source. If both of you keep your eyes on me, the relationship will withstand every trial. The world celebrates love as passion and fire, but I tell you, true love is quiet strength. It needs no proof, for endurance is its testimony. It needs no promises, for faithfulness is its seal. It is not the wave that sweeps you off balance. It is the shore that helps you find yourself again. And when you love with that kind of love, you will begin to grasp a glimpse of the love I have for all creation, a love that endures, forgives, and never fails. Do you remember Job? When everything fell apart, his friends abandoned him, his wife lost hope, only I remained. Yet in the end I restored him and gave him relationships far greater than those he had lost. So too, when I lead you through seasons of solitude, it is not to leave you in the desert, but to make you cherish the garden when I bring you there. And when you enter that new relationship, you will not carry fear. You will carry understanding that love is not a need to be filled, but a reflection of my grace flowing from one redeemed heart to another. My beloved child, I am preparing you for divine unity, not only in love between two hearts, but in every relationship within. My kingdom between friends, co-laborers, and those whose spirits share the same calling. There will be people you have never imagined meeting, yet they carry the missing pieces of your mission's design. They will speak the words you have not dared to speak. They will pray when you are weary. They will see the light I placed within you, even when you no longer can. Together you will become the living body of Christ, shining as a reflection of my glory in a weary world. Do not confine love within the narrow frame of the world. I did not create love to possess, but to reveal my kingdom. When two souls meet in me, all of heaven rejoices, for it is not merely a personal connection, but an expansion of heaven on earth. Through such divine connections, I will heal, restore, and release blessings that flow far beyond yourselves. Your love will not just be a personal story, it will be a testimony of grace, a mirror of my love for all humanity. Do not fear when I ask you to wait. Waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. I will not give you something you are not yet ready to protect. When you learn to love yourself in my light, you will be able to love others without turning them into idols. When I am at the center, every relationship around you will align with divine order. True love will never lead you away from my path. It will draw you deeper into it. When the time comes, I will say now, and you will know. You will not have to strive or chase for what I have ordained. Will find its way to you not in haste, but in the stillness of holy confirmation. In that moment you will see that every goodbye, every lonely night, every tear you shed was not wasted. They were the prelude to a covenant, where love is not a temporary comfort, but an eternal companionship in my will. My dear one, I want you to understand that every divine encounter in your life carries a purpose beyond emotion. No soul crosses your path without my knowledge. Some I send to teach you how to love, some to teach you forgiveness, and some to walk beside you in the mission I have entrusted to you. Every soul plays a role in the grand symphony I am composing, and you are an irreplaceable note within it. When you grasp this truth, you will no longer resent the past or cling to those who are not meant to stay. You will begin to see through heaven's perspective that everything, even pain, has purpose. The season of solitude is not a punishment. It is where I am reshaping your heart for true love. I do not want love to come while your heart is still torn, for then you will use pain as your compass. I am stitching your soul together with threads of healing, so that when I bring the true connection, you will recognize it not through emptiness, but through fullness. When you are healed, you will no longer seek someone to fill your void, you will seek someone to build with. When you emerge from loneliness carrying grace, love will no longer be your refuge, it will be the foundation of your calling. In my kingdom, love and purpose cannot be separated. Every connection I ordain carries a divine mission. When I unite two souls, it is not merely for comfort, it is for revelation. Like Abraham and Sarah, I join them to make a promise. Like Moses and Aaron, I pair them to deliver people. Like David and Jonathan, I forge a friendship that defies status and power to preserve faithfulness in dark times. And like Mary and Joseph, I join them to cradle redemption itself. Do you see, my child? Every divine partnership serves a heavenly function, not merely an emotional satisfaction. Therefore, I am rewriting the standard of love in your heart. True love does not make you forget me. It makes you long for me more. It does not weaken you, it strengthens you in the spirit. It does not only shine in the light, it endures through the night. True love is not measured by romance, but by the ability to stand together through trial. When I send you a spiritual companion, they will not lead you astray, they will kneel beside you. And when two souls bow together before my throne, heaven itself will tremble. You have endured heartbreak relationships, that fractured friendships, that betrayed. But my child, I have recorded every tear you shed for love. I have not forgotten. I have heard your cry, Lord, I just want to be loved truly. And I say to you now, I am preparing what you ask for, but not in the way you expect. You thought true love would come when others changed, but I tell you it begins when you allow me to change you. When your heart becomes clear as glass, it will reflect the one who carries the same light. I am calling you into a season of divine unity, where every relationship around you will flow in the same river of grace. No longer shallow conversations, but exchanges saturated with my word. No longer handshakes of convenience, but hands joined in prayer. No longer alliances built on advantage, but souls joined by purpose. You will begin to feel the resonance like two strings vibrating in harmony, though they never touch. That is the sign of a connection I have ordained. Do not be alarmed if I make you seem different to the world. Those who are not called to your frequency will not understand you. They will say, "You have changed, become distant," but you are merely coming into alignment. When my light within you grows, everything not born of that light will naturally fade away. You need not push it. Light separates darkness on its own. Let this happen without fear, for it is the sign that I am drawing you into a deeper covenant dimension. My child, when I speak of unity, I speak of a family of purified hearts. I am raising around you a heavenly company, a gathering of those who share your faith, vision, and devotion. Some will pray with you, some will build with you, some will fight beside you. Each one is a brushstroke in the greater masterpiece I am painting. You will no longer fight alone, for the era of the solitary warrior has ended. This is the season of the heavenly formation souls, united not by blood, but by the Spirit. I am doing as I did in the book of Acts, when the disciples were of one heart and one accord, and the fire of heaven descended. When they gathered in unity, my power was released. So it shall be again, I will send you those who carry the same flame. And when you pray together, atmospheres will shift. When you sing together, chains will break. When you agree together, the doors of miracles will open. This is not mere social harmony, it is prophetic unity. It will ignite revival wherever your feet tread. My beloved child, always remember this. Any connection that does not have me at its center will eventually crumble. Do not let emotion cloud your spiritual vision. Do not let compassion become a chain. Love in freedom, connect in discernment. For love without truth will blind you, but love with truth will open your eyes. When I am the truth, within your relationships, they will stand firm as stone. Let everything you build rest on the foundation of me, for no other foundation is unshakable. Do not worry about time. I have not forgotten my promises. You are not behind, you are being refined. What I am preparing for you requires a mature heart to receive it. If I were to give it too soon, you would think it came by chance. But when I give it in its appointed time, you will know it was by grace. When you meet the one I have chosen, or when you step into the community I have prepared, you will realize that every season of waiting was not wasted, for it carved space for perfection to enter. When you look back, you will see that I used every parting to teach you choice, every tear to teach you discernment, and every lonely night to teach you how to hear my voice. And now, as the new season dawns, you will no longer crave human approval, for you have already been sealed by me. Those I send to you will recognize that seal and revere my presence in you. There will be no need to chase, no need to prove, only to stand in the light, for light always draws those who carry light. The season of separation has ended. The season of unity has begun. I am gathering the scattered pieces of your heart, binding them with love, faith, and faithfulness, not just to make you whole, but to make you a refuge for others who are broken. You will no longer love to be loved. You will love as I love to restore. Your love will become a song of healing, a river of refreshment for the thirsty, a beacon of light for the lost. Open your heart, my child, for what I am doing now goes beyond your limits. The people I am placing around you will not come to make you dependent, but to walk with you into destiny. Every relationship I ordain is a thread of the kingdom. As these threads intertwine, a net of grace will spread forth to draw many souls back to me. You will no longer be merely a receiver of blessing, but a distributor of it, not only one who is loved, but one who carries my love to every corner of the earth. Now I declare to you, when you live in the unity of true love, heaven itself bears witness. For that unity proves that humanity can still reflect my image, the image of love himself. Let every relationship in your life become an altar where grace burns bright. Let every word you speak become a prayer. Let your love be the sign to the world that I am alive in you. My child, you are crossing a threshold that few dare to cross, the threshold of inner transformation. Everything external that you once held, saw, or clung to is beginning to fade, because I am making all things new from within. Understand this: before I renew your circumstances, I renew your being. For if the old vessel remains, the new wine cannot be poured in. You have asked me to change the world around you, but now I say I am changing you, my child, so that you may change the world. A divine movement is stirring not far away, but within your soul. I am shaking everything that has no root in me. Every old belief, every limiting pattern, every whisper of fear is being loosened and cast off. You may feel the tremors inside you. Do not be afraid. This is not destruction, it is rebirth. Like a seed that must break open before life can reach the light, you too are breaking out of your shell to reveal the true image of me within you. I have watched the battle in your heart, the struggle between the old and the new, between faith and doubt, between stillness and the noise of the world. You have tried to keep your balance, but I did not call you to balance, I called you to surrender. For only in surrender will you find real strength. The power of my kingdom is not found in control, but in trust. When you can say, Lord, not my will, but yours be done, then heaven begins to move on your behalf. I know you have endured long nights of weariness, when your faith felt like a fragile thread, when you asked, Lord, are you still there? And I answered, yes, I am here even in the silence. For I do not only speak in thunder, I also whisper. You could not hear me before, not because I was distant, but because the noise of worry was too loud. But now I am teaching you the art of stillness, so that you may know that I am not only the God who speaks, but also the God who dwells in the quiet between words. This transformation is not gentle like a breeze. It is like molten fire rising from a long-sleeping mountain. You will see hidden things within yourself, exposed, unhealed wounds, buried fears, parts of you that even you have hidden. Do not run from them. Let me touch them. I do not come to condemn, but to redeem. I do not expose your wounds to shame you, but to cleanse them. Everything I bring into the light is not to humiliate you, but to set you free. My child, I am turning your heart into a new temple for my presence. The confusion that once clouded you will be replaced by clarity. The fear that once crippled you will be replaced by peace. I am building in you a foundation that cannot be shaken, not made of emotion but of truth. Emotions rise and fall like waves, but my truth stands like mountains. When you live by feeling, you will be tossed about, but when you stand upon my word, you will never be moved. You once asked me, why must I keep waiting? And I answered, because I am teaching you to discern between what is good and what is mine. Not every shining door is from heaven. Some are mirages to test your heart. But you have passed the test, my child, I have seen it. You did not choose the shortcut, you chose the cross. And because of that, I now grant you the power of discernment. From this day forward, you will no longer be deceived by appearances, for I will cause your spirit to sense the truth hidden beneath all things. This is the beginning of a deeper awakening. You are not merely being restored, you are being reborn. The light within you is rising, and as it does, you will begin to see the world not as it is, but as I see it. And when you look through my eyes, you will understand every delay was preparation, every wound was instruction, and every silence was love in disguise. My beloved child, this change within you is about power, not the power of dominance, but the power of transformation. When I fill you with my spirit, your words will shift the very atmosphere. When you pray, invisible doors will open. When you lay your hands on the broken, they will feel my warmth flowing through you. You will become a living torch, carrying my light into the darkest places. But before I can use you, I must burn away every remnant of self-pride, control, and complacency. Fire only burns bright in dry wood, and I am drying you from the dampness of the flesh, so that my flame may blaze unhindered. Do not fear this fire, my child. It does not come to destroy, but to purify. Like silver refined in the furnace, I am refining your faith. Everything false, impure, or rootless in me will be consumed. But when the flame settles, you will rise brighter, clearer, stronger than ever before. This is the mystery of revival. It never begins on stages or platforms, but in a secret place where a soul meets the Spirit and whispers, Lord, make me new again. When I stir your soul, let the tears fall. Do not restrain them, for every tear in this season is a seed for the harvest to come. All that you are feeling now, weariness, restlessness, yearning, are the birth pangs of new life. Like a woman in labor, you are bringing forth something holy. And when that new life comes forth, the pain will be forgotten. Only joy will remain for what has been born of the Spirit. Let my Spirit lead you. Do not lean on calculation, for my logic is not the logic of men. You think I work according to time, but I move according to purpose. One day in my hand can equal 1,000 years, and 1,000 years can pass in a single moment. When I say, now everything will unfold with speed and precision, you will see delays turn into breakthroughs, closed doors turn into pathways, and old prayers blossom into living realities. For when I have spoken, nothing can stand in the way. Do not resist the shaking. Do not cling to what is leaving. Everything trembling around you is not meant to destroy, but to detach you from what no longer belongs to your destiny. Some people will drift away, some plans will dissolve, some dreams will be reformed. But remember, only what is not rooted in me will fall away. What is of me will endure even when the earth quakes. When the dust settles, you will see that you have lost nothing of value, only what was false. This is a season of divine acceleration. You will see in 1 month what once took a year. You will understand in a single day what once took a decade. Revelation, vision, and wisdom will flow rapidly, not to make you proud, but to make you aware that I am moving now. Do not be overwhelmed when things unfold swiftly. I am compressing time because you are ready. Every delay of the past was not wasted. It was me growing your roots. And now that your roots are deep, your tree can grow tall without fear of falling. The transformation within you is the deepest work I have ever done. It will not only change how you see life, it will change how you see me. You will no longer see me as distant, but as the breath within you. You will no longer pray out of fear, but out of gratitude. You will no longer live reacting to darkness, but radiating light. Then you will understand. Revival is not an event. It is the state of a soul fully surrendered. Arise, my child. For now it is not only the world around you that is shifting you, yourself have changed. You will no longer marvel at my works as if they are miracles, because miracles will become your daily breath. You will speak to mountains and they will move. You will pray and heaven will open. Not because you are strong, but because you have become one with me. And when your soul merges with my spirit, no force on earth or in hell can restrain you. My beloved, when the fire of resurrection burns within you, it is no longer a flame for your own path. It becomes a beacon for the world. Everything I taught you in the dark, you will now proclaim from the rooftops. Everything I planted in solitude will now bloom in public. You learned how to stand alone. Now you will learn how to lead. You have been healed. Now you will become the vessel of healing. You once listened for my voice. Now you will carry that sound to those who have forgotten their own divine song. The power I give is not for display, it is for redemption. When I entrust you with spiritual authority, it is not a weapon for pride, but a balm for the broken. The anointing upon you is not for performance, but for liberation. When you pray, it will not be empty words. Angels will move. When you touch someone, it will not be your hand, but mine through you. Walk humbly for the proud. Hold miracles only for a moment, but the humble carry them for a lifetime. This, my child, is the power of transfiguration, the life of one who no longer says, "Use me for glory, but glorify yourself through me." And when you live this way, heaven will not just visit you, it will dwell in you. My beloved child, the time has come for your soul to move in the rhythm of heaven. You will soon recognize that I act not by the calendars of men, but by the heartbeat of eternity. There will be moments when I cause you to move swiftly, so swiftly that others will marvel, and moments when I stop you, so that you might listen. Every step I order has purpose. Do not fear if you find yourself separated from the crowd, for I never release the vision of my kingdom amid the noise of chaos. I speak in stillness, and I move in surrender. The world is starving for those who carry my true presence. Not for those with knowledge alone, but for those who carry fire. Fire cannot be taught, it can only be imparted. And the fire I have kindled in you will consume the coldness around you. When you pray, the atmosphere will change. When you speak, my word will go forth like a sharp sword cutting through the veils of deception. When you walk, darkness will retreat, not because you shout, but because the light in you is too real to be denied. Remember this, my power does not come to make noise, but to restore divine order. In a world of confusion, I am sending you as a bearer of balance. I do not need you to shout about faith, I need you to live it. Your holiness will become your sermon, your kindness will become your miracle. The compassion in your eyes will remind the weary that they are still loved. Your voice will awaken sleeping souls. When I manifest through you, the very air around you will shift, not because of your effort, but because you have become my dwelling place. My child, I will make your words seeds of power. Every sentence spoken in faith will set things in motion. Do not underestimate the language of your lips, for words are not mere sound, they are decrees in the Spirit. When you say peace, peace will come. When you say light, darkness must flee. When you declare freedom, chains will break. Not because of who you are, but because I dwell within your words. Do not fear mistakes. I will refine every phrase, shape every thought, until your speech flows as a pure stream of grace. In the days ahead, the very atmosphere around you will shift. Those near you will sense a peace they cannot explain. The broken will be drawn to you without knowing why, because they are searching for me, and I am in you. You will not need to promote yourself, for I will cause your name to be spoken in places your feet have never gone. I will open doors no human can open. Your voice will reach hearts far beyond your reach. For light needs no introduction, it only needs to be seen. But never forget your roots. All true power flows from intimacy with me. Do not let miracles make you forget the miracle worker. Do not let blessings make you drift from the source. Each day return to the quiet place where it is just you and me. There I will fill you again, correct you, teach you, and love you. Each time you leave that place, carry the fragrance of my presence. When you enter a room, people will not need to hear a sermon. They will simply feel that I am there. In this hour I am granting you new authority, not the authority of position, but of presence. The enemy who once made you tremble will now tremble when you walk in. For your spirit bears the seal of the Holy One. I have placed upon your forehead the mark of light, that darkness might not dare approach. When you pray, the atmosphere will quake. When you are silent, hearts around you will find peace. For you are not merely speaking my word, you are the living evidence that my word breathes. I will give you sensitivity in the spirit to know when to move and when to wait. Some battles will not require you to fight, only to stand still. Some mountains will not require climbing, only to be commanded to move. I will teach you to discern what is my voice, what is your own, and what belongs to the noise of the world. When you hear rightly, you will no longer grow weary of guessing or discouraged in waiting. Every step will be guided, every decision is illuminated. When the power of revival flows through you, remember I act through humility and love. I do not raise you to be the center. I raise you to point others back to me. So when miracles unfold, bow in gratitude. When healing happens, give glory to the one who heals. When souls return to me, weep with holy joy, for that is the true reward. Do not seek the applause of men, for their crowns fade, but the crown I give endures forever. You will see that what I do through you transcends religion, it moves in the current of love. You will not only preach with words, but with tenderness. You will touch souls not only through scripture, but through a gaze of compassion. You will not merely speak of me, you will embody me. When you forgive, you preach. When you serve, you worship. When you love the unlovable, you perform the greatest miracle of all, turning hearts of stone into hearts of flesh. The world will see me in the way you love, not through long sermons, but through the way you embrace the forgotten. Not through grand rituals, but through how you wash the feet of the weary. I do not dwell in temples of stone. I am building living temples within hearts, and you are one of the first stones. Walk the earth as light in the night, as oil in the desert, as the whisper of hope in the midst of despair. And when you remain faithful, I will expand your reach from family to community, from community to nation, from nation to nations. Everywhere you place your foot, I will mark it as heaven's ground. When you speak, nations will shift. When you pray, storms will calm. When you sing, dry ground will break open, and living water will flow. For you are not merely one who prays, you are the conduit of revival. My beloved child, when the world looks at you, I do not want them to say, that person is great, but rather God is still alive. That is the true purpose of power, not to exalt you, but to reveal me to the world. And when that happens, you will understand that revival is not a movement, but a heartbeat. The very heartbeat of my heart beating within yours, pulsing through every breath, every word, every act, until the world knows that I, the living God, still dwell and move among humankind. Now I declare this: your arms are being stretched wider, and your soul is being lifted higher. Every limitation that once restrained you is dissolving like mist before the light of righteousness. You will find yourself stepping beyond the narrow borders of what you once knew, entering the territory of divine creativity and power, not the creativity of human imagination, but the creativity of my spirit, the one who spoke a single word. And the universe was formed. When I breathe new life into you, that breath will not only revive your soul, but will also call life back into the things that have died around you, so that everywhere your feet tread becomes ground of restoration. You are being anointed for sacred creativity. From this moment, all that you do will no longer carry the scent of striving, but the fragrance of grace. The ideas that come to you will not rise from intellect, but from the realm of revelation. I will grant you visions unseen by others, strategies unwritten in any book, and solutions unknown to the world. For I am making you a vessel of renewal, a divine conduit carrying the breath of inspiration to awaken a generation that has grown dry and weary in spirit. My child, I am not merely opening a door for you to pass through. I am opening a gate through which you will lead others. This is not the season of individuals, but of multiplication. From one seed I will raise an entire forest. From one faithful word I will awaken the songs of nations. From one small act of faith I will release a wave of blessing that sweeps across the earth. Therefore do not think small, do not act small, and do not dream small. What I have planted in you was never meant to be contained, it was meant to expand. It was not given for comfort, but for kingdom vision. You will see me place upon you the grace of divine influence. People will be drawn not by your name, but by the light within you. That light will open doors in government, in art, in media, and in education, for I am calling you to be a voice of hope in places that have forgotten me. I will not use you only within church walls, but will send you beyond the borders of religion to bring my love into territories where darkness believed it had won. Do not think that I will use you only in prayer, for I will use you also in creativity, in writing, in music, in language, in communication, in art, and in imagination. Every form of expression can become an altar when it is offered to me. When you paint, I will be in every stroke of your brush. When you write, I will breathe through every word. When you speak, I will be in every breath. And when you sing, your voice will echo through the unseen realms, shaking the walls around hearts long shut. You are not merely a creator. You are a living channel of my glory, the sound of heaven resonating through the earth. Do not fear stepping forward, beloved. I have placed within you the voice of a generation, a voice not born to conform but to lead, not to please the crowd, but to awaken it. Do not seek agreement. Seek truth. Do not chase applause. Seek the Amen of heaven. When you speak what I command, the world may resist, but their souls will recognize the truth. For truth needs no defense. It carries the power of its own source. My spirit within you will cause your words to pierce through resistance, softening hardened hearts until even opposition bows before light. In this season I will set upon your tongue the fire of prophecy and the wisdom of heaven. You will know when to speak and when to be silent. You will speak less, but your words will carry weight. You will write slower, but every line will reach farther. For my spirit will saturate your language, turning your words into living seeds, sown into human hearts. Those seeds will not die, they will grow into transformed lives, into people awakened in the radiance of grace and truth. I am raising you as a steward of blessing. Everything I give is not only to you, but through you. The talents you possess are not meant to bring you praise, but to reveal me. When you dedicate your work, your ideas, and your achievements to me, I will breathe eternity into them. What is done in my spirit will outlive time itself. It will reach generations you will never meet, because the work of my kingdom is never confined to a single lifetime. It carries the inheritance of eternity. Do not be surprised if you feel pressure, for every birth comes with pain, and every awakening comes with collision. But do not fear. Within the pressure I am birthing something new. Where others see chaos, I see structure. Where others see breaking, I see becoming. When you feel weary, I see strength being forged. Do not run from the pressure. Let it press you deeper into revelation. For from that place the new will emerge in power. My child, the creativity I am birthing in you is not limited to art. It flows into every sphere of life. I will give you strategy for business, insight for work, innovation for education, and renewal for service. For I am the Lord of all realms. There is no territory beyond my reach. I want you to sanctify every place your foot touches, to turn your workplace into an altar, your conversations into sermons, and your daily rhythms into acts of worship. This is a season of exponential growth. What you plant today will multiply tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold, not because of your skill, but because you have learned to walk with me. I do not merely add, I multiply. When I touched 5 loaves and 2 fish, they fed thousands. Likewise, when you offer me the little you hold in your hands, I will turn it into an abundant miracle. Do not fear scarcity, for I only need one thing, a heart that is willing. And when you give me that heart, the world will see and know the living God still moves through you, my beloved child. As I expand you outward, I am also deepening you inward. For width and depth must remain in balance. Without that balance, you would collapse under the weight of blessing. I am teaching you the art of equilibrium and grace. When your influence increases, let humility increase twice as much. When your voice echoes farther, let your prayer grow deeper. When you are seen, learn even more to hide yourself in me. That is how I preserve your purity amid the great currents of power. Do not fear greatness. Those whom I call, I also equip. The very places that exceed your capacity are the very places where I will reveal my strength. Walk in faith, even when you do not know the way. Begin, and I will complete it. Do not wait for perfection before you move. Act with surrender, for my grace will fill in what is missing. You do not need to know every answer. You only need to know the one who has called you. I am doing something no one can replicate. The mark I have placed within you is unique. None can steal it, for it is engraved upon your soul, not written on paper. Do not compare yourself to anyone, for your journey is a poem I have written only once. When you remain faithful to your portion, the world will receive a melody that only you carry. And through that I will be glorified, for light does not compete with light. It shines together to illuminate the earth. My beloved, I am placing upon you a new covenant, not one written with ink upon paper, but one inscribed with fire upon your soul. Everything I have done with you will not end with you. It will continue to flow like a river moving through generations, soaking into souls yet unborn. You carry within you not merely a calling, but a sacred inheritance. That inheritance is not created by effort, but birthed through surrender. And now I say to you, arise, for from you many will rise. My child, I have watched the years of your faithfulness in little things, and now I entrust you with greater things, not great in the eyes of the world, but great in the measure of heaven. For I do not count by applause, but by transformation. Every soul touched through you is a precious gem in my crown. Every prayer you lift for another opens a river of blessing in the unseen realm. And now I declare I will make your influence generational. What you sow today will blossom in your descendants. What you speak in faith today will become a living prophecy for generations to come. I am writing your name into the spiritual history of my people, not so that you may be exalted, but so that through you the world may know that I still move, still speak, still save, still transform. Your name will be attached to the works of light, to chapters of revival, to stories of returning hearts. And when people recount what I have done, they will say, this was the one who believed when no one believed, who stood when no one else stood, who sang praise when everything was falling apart. And I will respond, yes, because they are mine. I am restoring your voice and your reputation, not the voice of man, but the voice of my Spirit through you. The words you once spoke in weakness will now carry power. The places that once rejected you will become places that receive you. The doors that once shut will open as you approach, not because you demand, but because my presence within you commands them to open. You will not need to seek a place. I will establish one for you. You will not need to fight for recognition. I will call your name from the midst of the crowd, and when I make you visible, do not fear the gaze of others. Light was never created to hide, but remember, this light does not shine for its own sake, it shines to guide the lost. When I place you on high, it is not to glorify you, but to let my light within you lead those wandering in darkness. When you are blessed, let the blessing flow through you to others. When you are lifted, bow low in reverence. For true glory is not being seen, but allowing me to be revealed through you. My child, everything you do in this season will carry the imprint of eternity. Nothing you sow in my Spirit will ever be wasted. No prayer will be forgotten, no tears will fall in vain. Every offering you make is recorded in the scrolls of heaven. When you give, I multiply. When you forgive, I open doors. When you remain faithful, I engrave it. And when you persevere, I reward you. There are things you may not see in this lifetime, but future generations will see them and give me praise. And they will say, someone once gave everything so that light could shine again. I am restoring the years that were stolen. Every opportunity you thought was lost, every relationship broken, every dream extinguished. I am gathering them all back together. I will take what the enemy used to wound you and turn it into testimony for my glory. Shame will become a crown, wounds will become holy marks, tears will become anointing oil. For I am the God who wastes no pain, I turn ashes into beauty. I am also giving you the authority to bless generations. When you pray, your words will travel through time. When you lay your hands upon a child, the stream of blessing will follow them all their days. When you prophesy, your voice will echo through the spiritual lineage of your family. Those yet unborn will live in the fruit of your faith today. For the prayer of the righteous never dies, it beats on like the pulse of eternity itself. My beloved child, your family will know my name. You will be the root of a lineage that worships me. Even when your voice is no longer heard on earth, the echo of your praise will still resound through the generations that follow. I will keep your descendants in the shelter of my hands, covering them with grace, teaching them to honor me, and they will walk in the light you once opened. I will make your household a river of blessing flowing through time, watering the barren lands of humanity. Do not fear when I entrust you with the responsibility of legacy. A legacy is not a burden, but a flame to be tended. Keep that flame alive even when the winds rise, even when the night grows long. When you grow weary, I will breathe upon it so that it does not go out. When you feel weak, I will send helpers to sustain you. When you lose your way, I will whisper, "Look again, the fire is still there." For that flame was not kindled by your hand, but by my breath. My child, I am placing upon the work of your hands a sacred seal of inheritance. Every project, every creation, every mission, every word you write will carry the living breath of my spirit. No one can steal it, for it is sealed in the unseen realm. Even when your body grows tired, your work will continue to bear fruit. What you sow today will bloom at the appointed time. When your voice is silent, what you have written will still speak. When you no longer stand in the light of men, the light you carried will continue to shine. This is the season of lasting glory, not the glory of fame, but the glory of fulfillment. You will no longer need to chase miracles, for your very life will become one. You will no longer need to prove your faith, for the peace you carry will be proof enough. When others look at you, they will see me in you, and that will be the greatest testimony of all. Know that this covenant cannot be broken. No circumstance, no failure, no human hand can undo what I have sealed with the blood of the Lamb. Though the world may change, my word stands firm. Though the seasons shift, this covenant endures. Walk in the assurance that you are never alone, never forgotten. You are not only chosen, you are kept. Not only sent, but covered. Not only anointed, but preserved within the light of my presence. And when the final day of this season arrives, you will look back no longer with fear or regret, but with holy joy, and you will see that I have kept every promise. You will understand that every chapter of your life was a golden thread in the grand tapestry of glory I have been weaving. And when the masterpiece is finished, you will smile in sacred peace, knowing that everything I began, I have also completed. My beloved, when the fire within you has been refined and made steadfast, the season of sending has come. Everything you learned in the shadows will now be revealed in the light. Every silent tear has become the oil of anointing. Every trial that once seemed to break you has become a testimony for those who come after. I now declare, my child, step forward, not to reveal yourself, but to reveal me. Not to speak of your own story, but to show the world my power through a soul fully surrendered. Do not think I send you out empty-handed. Upon your hands rests the mark of mission. Upon your forehead the radiance of grace, and within your heart the voice of my spirit. You do not walk alone, my angels go before you, preparing the ground, opening doors, shielding you from snares. Every step you take declares in the Spirit, this ground belongs to the Lord. Every word you speak becomes an arrow of light piercing the night of despair. When you pray, the atmosphere will shift. When you touch another with genuine love, I will move through that touch. I am not sending you as a preacher of words, but as a bearer of presence. The world has heard enough speeches, it longs for living truth. They do not need more theories, they need the touch of my heart. And you are the hand I will use. Not through grand performances, but through quiet acts filled with love. When you listen with compassion, heaven listens with you. When you forgive, invisible chains are broken. When you embrace the abandoned, it is I embracing them through you. In this season, I will teach you the sacred art of walking in the world without belonging to it. You will learn how to hear my voice amidst the noise, how to remain pure while standing among many. I will place you in ordinary spaces that are in truth spiritual battlegrounds. You will discover that miracles do not happen only in sanctuaries, but in markets, at dinner tables, in offices, on street corners. For light was never meant to stay inside the temple, it was meant to enter the darkness. Do not fear the darkness, my child. Do not fear resistance. When I send you, I do not promise ease, but I promise presence. Every time you face rejection, remember I was rejected too. Every time you are misunderstood, remember I was accused as well. But I turned all of it into the instruments of glory, and I will do the same in your life. The enemy will believe it is hindering you, yet in truth it is guiding you onto the path of destiny. This is no longer the season of hiding, but the season of humble radiance. I have not called you to be the center, yet neither have I called you to conceal your light. A lamp is not meant to be hidden under a basket, but set upon a stand to give light to many. Shine not through noise, but through peace. Conquer not through argument, but through the irresistible power of love. Teach not through rules, but through the example of mercy. For the world is weary of theories. They will only believe what they can see, and through you they will see me. My beloved child, I have given you the power of compassion. In a world that has grown cold, you will be warmth. In barren places, you will be a spring. In the midst of despair, you will be the first ray of dawn. You will not need many words to change hearts. Your very presence, filled with my spirit, will shift the atmosphere. I will make you a carrier of heaven's fragrance. Wherever you step, tension will ease, fear will soften, and my peace will overflow. It is not you who creates peace. You carry me, and I am peace. As you walk in your mission, remember this: true success is not measured by numbers, but by obedience. Do not look at what others are doing. Look at where I am leading you. Some are called to speak to thousands, others to one soul. But before me, both are equally precious. Do not compare yourself, for my vineyard has many rows, and I have assigned to each their portion. Be faithful in your own, for in my hands, faithfulness itself becomes a miracle. I will teach you to walk with the feet of a priest, light, yet leaving marks that last. When you pass through a city, the spiritual atmosphere will change, though no one understands why. When you enter a home, what was bound will begin to flow again. When you open your mouth to pray, not only will the person before you be touched, but hearts far away will feel my movement. For in this season of sending, I am not only using your actions, I am using your very presence as the channel of my power. Prepare, my child, for divine appointments. I will orchestrate your steps to the right place at the right time with the right people. What seems like a random encounter will prove to be the intersection of destinies. A single word you speak may rescue a soul from the abyss. A single act of kindness may unlock a chain of miracles for an entire family. I am the author of every script. You need only play your part with surrender. When you flow in my rhythm, the smallest act becomes eternal. In this season of sending, you will learn to fight with peace. You do not need to respond to every attack. Simply stand in the light, and darkness will retreat on its own. You do not need to argue with those who oppose you. Simply love, and love will disarm hatred. I have not called you to be a defender of words, but a living witness, a testimony of a transformed life, of a heart that forgives, of a soul that mirrors heaven. Do not strive beyond your strength. Remember, you are not the source, you are the river. And when the river runs dry, return to the source. Learn to rest in me, for in rest power is renewed. Do not fear stillness. Sometimes stopping is the greatest act of faith. When you are silent, I still move. When you rest, I still work. Walk forward in faith, for the world is waiting for what I have placed within you. They do not know what they are waiting for, but their souls are crying out. And I say to you, go, my child, bring my light. Let the world know that I am still alive, still loving, still saving, still transforming. Do not fear lack, for as you step out, provision will spring forth. Do not worry about what to say, for when you open your mouth, I will speak. Do not fear the distance, for as you walk, I go before you. This is the season of commissioning, but also of proof. Through you, I will show the world that my power is not myth, but reality. They will see the weak strengthened, the broken restored, the hopeless revived, and they will know that God is still among his people. And when they see it, they will not exalt you. They will bow in worship before the one who sent you. My beloved, as you enter this season of sending, know that it is also a season of warfare, not a battle of flesh, but of spirit. You are not fighting against people, but against the invisible chains that bind their souls. The enemy does not seek your life, it seeks your faith. It cannot touch your soul if you remain in me, but it will try to weary you, to make you doubt, to make you forget that you carry my light. Yet fear not, for I have declared, greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. My child, I do not send you into battle empty-handed. Upon you is the armor of righteousness, in your hand the sword of my word, upon your head the helmet of salvation. No weapon formed against you shall prevail, for you do not fight alone, I fight through you. When you pray, I act. When you stand firm in faith, my angels move. And when you sing praise in the midst of battle, darkness trembles, for it cannot endure the sound of faith. Remember, your victory lies not in strength, but in surrender. The world thinks the strong are those who hold on, but in my kingdom the strong are those who let go. When you release the outcome to me, you have already won. When you surrender control, you overcome. When you choose love over retaliation, you triumph. The enemy does not fear loud declarations, but it fears a soul at peace in the storm. Peace is the weapon of the kingdom. It confuses darkness, for darkness can do nothing against a steady heart. I will teach you the art of warring through prayer. Prayer is not merely speaking, it is the union of your spirit with my will. When you pray in the Spirit, you no longer speak from yourself. I speak through you. Your words become arrows of light piercing through the fog of the world, striking at the heart of darkness. Pray not only with your lips, but with your heart. Let your prayers not only rise, but reach, for I do not listen to polished phrases, I listen to truthful hearts. My beloved child, in this battle, the enemy will try to distract you through noise, through people's words, through weariness, and through fear. But remember, victory does not come from running fast, but from standing firm. When you remain in your place of prayer, even when you see no results, heaven is still moving. When you continue to love despite the pain, I am still working in the hearts of others. When you forgive without hearing an apology, you set yourself free from the chains of bitterness. And when you praise me through tears, I am composing a song of triumph from your very sorrow. My child, I say to you, do not lose sight of the true purpose of battle. The goal is not to prove who is right or wrong, it is to reclaim souls for me. When you see anger, look beyond the words to the wound it hides. When you see someone attack, understand that fear within them is crying out for help. Do not retaliate, intercede. Do not resent, have compassion. For within every lost soul there remains a seed of life, waiting for light to reach it. And I am sending you to be that light. Do not let the world's voices make you lose direction. Some battles are won through silence. Some accusations are destroyed by a single smile. Some doors open not with keys, but with prayers whispered in secret. When you choose peace, hell loses. When you choose love in the midst of hatred, heaven wins. And when you choose to kneel and serve, I place the crown of glory upon your head. Do not fear the darkness drawing near, for the darker it grows, the brighter your light will shine. It is in the night that miracles are born. Do not run from the storm, walk into it with faith, for I am in the midst of the storm. When you face the wind, I will be your strength. When you are attacked, I will be your shield. When every earthly door closes, I will open the heavens. Do not look at the walls before you look up, for I do not make a way on the ground. I make a way from above. My child, I declare this is the season of quiet victories. You will not need to shout to prove anything. Simply stand in my presence, and darkness will collapse on its own. Those who try to bring you down will see me lift you up. Those who doubt you will have to admit that something supernatural is at work in your life. And when that happens, remember, It is not because of you, but because of my glory shining through you. I am training your soul to become a warrior of light. Not a warrior of violence, but of mercy. Not a warrior of accusation, but of forgiveness. When you kneel, you conquer. When you intercede for those who hurt you, you reclaim lost ground. When you hold your faith while everything falls apart, heaven declares victory, for the enemy cannot defeat one who still loves God amid pain. I will teach you to discern between my voice and the voice of fear. Fear drives you into panic, but my voice brings peace. Fear tells you to run, but my voice tells you to stand. Fear makes you focus on danger. My voice draws your eyes to promise. Learn to listen with your spirit, not your emotions. For emotions change, but my word endures forever. My child, when you feel weary, remember no one wins the battle by their own strength. Even the mightiest warrior must rest in my heart. Do not be ashamed of your weakness. It is there that my power is made perfect. When you have no words left, I hear your sighs. When you can no longer pray, I still understand your heart. When you fall, I still hold you. And when you think you've lost, I am preparing for your greatest victory. In the days ahead, I will show you the true depth of this battle, not to frighten you, but to teach you the value of prayer. You will see that every soul saved is a victory. Every act of forgiveness is a fortress torn down. Every tear you shed is an arrow piercing the night, and every word of gratitude spoken in hardship is thunder shaking the gates of hell. For true victory is not measured by medals, but by souls set free. I have not called you to win once, but to live in victory. Do not let your heart rise and fall with moments of success or failure. Walk as one who has already overcome. For in the Lamb the battle was won before it began. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. You do not need to prove that you are strong. You need only believe that I am greater. Go, my child, in peace. Fight with love. Praise in the storm. Pray in the night. Hold your faith when dawn seems far away. For I declare, the night will not last forever. My dawn is coming, and on the mountaintop, the banner of glory will rise. It will be your faithful soul. My beloved, as the smoke of battle fades, a new era of glory begins to unfold. No more swords, no more tears. Only the radiant light of restoration surrounding you. Every wound you carry has become a mark of triumph. Every tear you shed has turned into fragrant oil rising like incense before my throne. My child, I now declare it is time to step out of the ashes, no longer as one marked by pain, but as one carrying the fragrance of heaven. This is the season of complete restoration, not only of what you lost, but of what you never knew you needed. I am giving you strength not to fight, but to sustain glory. I am giving you wisdom not to argue, but to guide. I am giving you stillness not to retreat, but to reign in peace. For my peace is your throne. You will no longer chase miracles, for you have become one. Wherever you go, the atmosphere will shift, not because of effort, but because I am in you. This restoration will not come through striving, but through union with me. When you stop trying to prove yourself, you will see me move. When you cease from your labor, I will begin mine. When you choose faith over fear, I will part the seas before you. This is the mystery of my kingdom. True strength is born in rest. You do not have to force your faith. Simply abide in my love, for my love has never failed. When you surrender to my current, everything will align perfectly in the place I have prepared, my beloved child. Look back upon your life. Every step that once seemed lost has turned out to be the footprint of grace. Every detour, every interruption, every moment you thought you were forgotten, all were part of my design. I have never missed a single detail. Even the cracks in the vessel of your life I have used to let the light shine through. What you once saw as brokenness I am using as proof that grace is stronger than sin and love greater than fear. Nothing in your journey has been wasted, for in my hands all things are woven for good. I am not only restoring you, I am repositioning you. I am setting you in your rightful place on the divine map of this age. Everyone I call has a place in my kingdom, and yours is where light meets shadow, that you might stand as the boundary of hope. You will no longer plead to be used, for now you are the very instrument I have refined through fire. You have been tested, purified, and prepared, and now you are ready to move in the power of oneness with me. Know this, my child, glory is not a reward, it is a state of union. When you and I become one, all limits disappear. When you speak, I speak with you. When you move, I move through you. When you love, I touch through your hands. This is the place where heaven and earth meet, where humanity and divinity breathe the same breath. In that place, there is no longer you and me, but one heartbeat, the heartbeat of eternal love. In that union, you will know my will without needing to ask. You will sense when to move and when to rest, when to speak and when to remain silent. For my spirit within you will teach you all things. You will no longer be governed by circumstances. You will govern them through my word. Not by earthly power, but by spiritual authority. The kind that stills the sea, moves mountains, and softens hearts. When you walk in oneness, you will no longer seek miracles, for you yourself will be the miracle I send into the world. I now grant you the power to restore others just as I restored you. As I met you in your loneliness, you will meet others in hope. As I raised you from ashes, you will lift others from the depths. As I healed your soul, you will carry the oil of healing for the wounded. When you speak, forgiveness chains will fall. When you intercede for those who oppose you, I will open their eyes. When you weep with the broken, your tears will become seeds of redemption. Through you, I am releasing a river of revival, not a movement, but a transformation. Not a crowd shouting, but hearts bowing. When you live in union with me, you will not need to convince anyone to believe. They will feel the truth in your eyes. When you love, you are preaching. When you forgive, you are delivering. When you serve, you are building my kingdom. For my kingdom does not come by force or fame, but by spirit and love's power. This is the hour of quiet glory. No trumpets, no banners, yet heaven and earth both know something new has been born. My presence within you is heaven's proof. When others seek power, you will carry presence. When they seek prophecy, you will embody truth. When they seek signs, you will be the sign, the living evidence of a soul completely redeemed. My child, I say this, everything you have fought through is now finished. Not because you were strong, but because you believed. Not because you were worthy, but because you obeyed. I led you through trial, wilderness, and fire, not to harm you, but to make you pure as gold. And now I place upon you the crown of endurance. None can take it away, for it is given by my hand. Lift up your head, beloved. The season of battle has ended. The season of glory begins. Walk in grace, in joy, and in the freedom no chain can hold. Let every breath you take be thanksgiving. Let every step you make leave a trace of peace, and let every gaze of your eyes reflect my face. For I declare, the one who has surrendered to me shall reign with me. I have fulfilled what I promised. Every fracture has healed. Every wound has become a testimony. Every dream has blossomed. What began in tears now blooms in the smile of grace. And when you look around, you will see every battle that once made you tremble has become your song of praise, walking as one who knows you belong to me. Let the world witness the wonder I have done, not through boasting, but through a life soaked in light and grace. For true glory is not the brilliance that surrounds you, but the radiance that flows from within you, my light in you, my beloved. As the dawn of a new era begins to break, I declare that what I started in you will not end here. Everything you have endured was only preparation for a mission that transcends time. You have been forged in fire, shaped in trial, and now I entrust you with an eternal commission. Not a commission written by human hands, but one of the kingdom, not penned in ink. but engraved in light upon your soul. My beloved child, I say to you, you shall be the bearer of my covenant amid a changing world. When empires crumble and the philosophies of men fade, this covenant will remain, for it is not founded on the shifting sands of time, but on the eternal rock that is me. I am giving you the key of steadfastness, so that even when the storm rises, you will stand firm. Not because you are strong, but because you have learned to anchor your heart in me, the unchanging one, the immovable one, the beginning and the end. I am drawing you into the rhythm of my kingdom. You will no longer labor in isolation, but as part of a heavenly symphony. I am connecting you with others' souls who are also called to carry the light. They come from different places, different streams, different tongues, yet share one spirit. You will not compete, but harmonize. Each of you will become a note, and when you unite, a song will rise that the world has never heard, a song of life, of truth, and of glory. Understand, my child, that this mission is not confined by time or space. It will continue long after your final breath. The words you write, the seeds you sow, the love you show, all will keep bearing fruit for generations to come. You are not building an earthly monument. You are laying the foundation for an eternal kingdom. Nothing done in my love will ever be lost. A single whispered prayer can alter the destiny of a nation. A single tear can open the way for an entire generation. For in my hands every act of love carries eternal weight. The world needs you now more than ever. It does not need more arguments, it needs holy presence. It does not need more noise, it needs anointed words. It does not need more leaders, it needs servants fashioned after the heart of Christ. You are not called to draw attention to yourself, but to awaken awareness of me. When you love, when you forgive, when you pray, when you endure, the world will glimpse my kingdom reflected in you, and they will know that I still dwell among humankind. My child, I say to you, this is the time of the torchbearers. You are one of them. The torch you carry is not lit by earthly flame, but by fire from the heavenly altar. Do not fear the darkness as you lift it high. The deeper you step into the shadows, the brighter your flame will burn. Remember, true light does not argue to prove itself, it simply shines. When you enter a room, fear will retreat. When you pray, the atmosphere will change. When you open your mouth, truth will flow like pure water. For you do not speak from your own mind, but from my breath within you. I am granting you eyes that see through eternity's lens. Do not look at people by outward appearance, look through my light. When you see through my eyes, you will discern in every soul, no matter how distorted, wounded, or lost, a spark of the Creator, waiting to be reignited. I am sending you to rekindle those sparks, not with judgment, but with compassion. Not by exposing sin, but by extending grace. For judgment closes hearts, but grace opens them. And I call you to be the messenger of that grace. Remember, your calling is not to succeed, but to be faithful. I do not require greatness as the world defines it. I desire greatness of heart. When you offer a single word of comfort, I will multiply it into 1,000 words of hope. When you intercede for one forgotten soul, I will touch an entire land. When you love quietly, heaven and earth will take note. For in my kingdom, the smallest act done in love becomes the greatest of all. I am giving you a new name in the Spirit. It is not for your exaltation, but so that the enemy will know you belong to me. When it looks upon you, it will see the seal of the Lamb upon your forehead. When it draws near the light within you, will drive it back. When it schemes to destroy it, will realize that to touch you is to touch my design, and my design cannot be undone. Do not fear what is to come. The world will tremble, but my kingdom cannot be shaken. The values of men will shift, but my truth will remain. Dynasties will rise and fall, but my throne stands forever. And you, the bearer of my covenant, will stand unshaken amid every storm, like a tree planted by living waters, ever green in drought, ever fruitful in dry lands. My child, let these words be engraved upon your heart. You are not living for the present moment, but for eternity. Every choice you make, every act you do, every word you speak echoes beyond time. When you choose love over resentment, you plant seeds for generations yet unborn. When you choose prayer over complaint, you shift the spiritual atmosphere of entire regions. When you keep your faith though all collapses, you are writing heaven's history with your life. Do not let your heart be small when I have placed greatness within you. Look through my vision, a vision not confined by years nor measured by instant results. When I look at you, I do not see the beginning or end. I see a masterpiece already complete. For in me all things are finished. You are simply walking out the melody I composed long ago. Every step you take, every beat of your heart, every breath you draw is a note in the eternal symphony of grace. My beloved, as you stand firm in covenant, know this: the kingdom you serve is not of this world. It does not come with drums and banners, nor through human power. It comes as a seed buried in the soil, silent, humble, yet unstoppable. And you, my child, are such a seed. I have buried you in the soil of trials, watered you with tears, wrapped you in darkness, and now I cause you to rise in glory. Look around, the world is shaking. What men thought unshakable is collapsing. The old foundations are dissolving. But do not fear, for I am building a kingdom that cannot be moved. It is not built upon politics, nor bound by borders, nor ruled by human tongues or tribes. It is built upon everlasting love, unchanging justice, and peace beyond understanding. And you, my child, are a pillar in that kingdom. So do not look upon the world with eyes of fear, but with eyes of hope. Darkness is only the sign that light is drawing near. The deepest night heralds the brightest dawn. Do not be troubled by chaos, for within it, heaven's order is taking shape. When you see division, know that I am preparing unity. When you hear the cries of anguish, understand that new life is being born. Every shaking you see is not the end. It is the birth cry of a new beginning in glory. My beloved child, my kingdom does not come by human strength, but by my spirit. You will see ordinary people rise with extraordinary hearts. You will witness once silent souls become voices of justice and grace. You will see barren places bloom again in faith. For I am breathing new life upon the earth, and you, together with my co-laborers, will be instruments in my hand, sowing the true seeds of revival. Do not think that revival is only miracles or multitudes gathered. True revival is when a single heart turns back to me. When one person forgives the one who hurt them, heaven rejoices. When a child prays with a pure heart, heaven shines with glory. When someone dares to stand for what is right, all of heaven moves. I am not seeking a stage, I am seeking hearts. And when I find one, I make it a temple for my presence to dwell. Know this, my child, I am not only working in you, but through you to reach generations after you. What I plant in your life will not die with you. It will grow in the spiritual children you've nurtured, in the hearts you've touched. There will be those who have never met you yet. They will live because of the words you once spoke and the prayers you once offered. They will read, they will hear, they will see, and in that very moment, my spirit will awaken them. For the words that go forth from my mouth through you will never return void. Look toward the horizon. A new generation is rising. They do not carry fear, but the fire of holy desire. They do not seek fame, but presence. They do not chase worldly glory, but long to be close to me. And I declare you shall be their guide. You will teach them to know me, not through theory, but through life. They will learn from how you forgive, how you love, how you endure. Your life will become the sermon they read, a gospel written in blood, in tears, and in true love. Do not underestimate the power of faithfulness. A small act of obedience today can redirect the course of spiritual history. When you speak a word of blessing, that seed will one day grow in someone's heart. When you choose intercession over criticism, you shift the atmosphere of a whole region. When you are faithful in hidden places, heaven will record it openly. Nothing done in my name will ever be lost. It will live on in the flow of grace. This is the season of generational connection. The young will dream dreams, and the old will see visions. I am bringing the generations together, not to compare, but to converge. The forerunners will pass on the flame, and the next will carry it farther. What you begin, they will complete. And they will say, "Blessed be the Lord," for our spiritual parents. For spiritual legacy is not measured in possessions, but in the light passed from soul to soul. Know that my kingdom never weakens, it only expands. Each soul that returns is a new stone added to the fortress of grace. Each prayer is a brick in the wall of hope. Each praise is a gate opened for light to enter. You are helping to build this eternal work, even if you cannot yet see its full completion. But one day when you stand before me, you will behold the entire masterpiece I have painted, and you will smile in awe. My child, I have not called you merely to live, but to be a source. When you pass through life, you leave behind rivers. When you pray, you open wells. When you love, you build gates of heaven. And I say to you, what I began in you will never fade. You are only the beginning, but the glory will continue through generations to come. O my child, my kingdom will never diminish. Though the world changes, though men betray, though time passes, I remain the eternal one. And because you are in me, you will share that same nature, unfading, unbroken, everlasting. The words you speak in faith today will echo through eternity, like the endless resonance of a hymn of hope. My beloved, all things are unfolding exactly as I have ordained. My kingdom grows quietly, and you are part of its silent construction. When you pray, heaven opens. When you stand firm, the earth finds peace. When you love, light spreads. And one day heaven and earth will become one. Every tear will be wiped away, every chain will fall, and all creation will sing with one voice. Worthy is the Lamb. Thank you for receiving this message today. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we may continue walking together in the living Word, growing stronger in faith, and living daily in the boundless love of God. Amen.